Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing a video on what BMW and what engine you should buy in 2022. And the reason I'm doing this video is because, as you know, the world's gone crazy. VAT's gone up, so you're going to expect to pay more on parts. You're going to expect to pay more on cars because car prices have gone through the roof. So I'm here to tell you what's the best BMW you can buy with the best engine in 2022 and what's going to make it very affordable for you to run with all the price hikes and the way everything's going at this present time.
What? Goddamn, get it done, will ya? Woo. When the blow up now, everybody's so unusual with it. Shit. But said times in his rhymes, cause his memories. We running through New York, so you know.
So as many of you guys know, the world has gone absolutely crazy. Prices have soared for everything, be it VAT, be it petrol prices, diesel prices. You've got petrol sitting at the same price as diesel. Car market's gone up through the roof. You're seeing cars now so expensive that you would never get for the price I got mine for years ago, especially the M5. You know, I've been trying to look so hard to find another M5 for the same price, and I can't. My friends have been trying to look for me for one as well, because I would like to get another one, and they cannot find one for Lord or money. So I'm here to do this video to explain to you what car you should buy in 2022 and what will be the best engine for you that isn't going to drain your bank account. Because as many of you guys know, VAT's up, which then makes parts go up, which makes cars go up. So not only are you going to spend more money on that car, you're going to spend more money on parts, you're going to spend more money at garages because garages charge VAT on top of everything, which then means labor costs go up, which then means parts go up for the garages as well, which could end up leaving you either worse off, therefore having no car because you won't be able to pay the garage, which then means the garage won't keep your car, or even worse, you won't be able to afford it and you're going to regret buying that car. And I don't want none of you to end up with regrets of buying your first BMW, or worse still, having a car now that's going to end up leaving you bankrupt this year because obviously the way everything's going with inflation. So here are the cars I would advise staying well clear of. And that's purely because if you are looking to take them to a garage or have them repaired by a mechanic, these cars are going to end up bankrupting you because they require serious repairs that even when you get them repaired are going to end up with problems again later on. So the ones I would strongly recommend staying away from are the BMW 320i's. And when I say 320i's, that be it an E90, E46, any of them makes and models, stay away from them. They were all fitted with the M42, M46 and M43. They are all problematic engines. Any 2-litre petrol engine you get from BMW is a heap of crap, and they require a lot of money chucked at them, and they will never ever run right. Now, if you're going to repair the car yourself, by all means go and get it. But you're still never going to have a perfectly reliable, nice, smooth running BMW as many of you guys actually think, because the 2 litres just simply don't run that way. A lot of the time you'll have time and chain failure, which is common on the 2 litres. You'll have valve stem seal failure on the M43. You have direct injection failure. You've got the NOx sensor, which is plagued failure, high pressure fuel pump. There is a lot of problems on that car. A lot of oil leaks, you know, the car runs very, very hot. So therefore the car just will never run correctly. The Vanos system ends up going on them really, really badly. The M46, the Valvetronic ends up going to crap, especially the eccentric shaft gets eaten up really badly as well. Them engines are just plagued in so many issues, it can cost you a lot of money. Now with inflation the way it is, I would highly recommend to stay away from that car, because not only sourcing parts is going to be hard, it's going to be very, very expensive even if they are sourced. And to repair that engine, it isn't worth the money, because you'll never come out on top with that car, because many, many people who know BMW will never ever advise anyone to go for a 2-litre engine, because they are not a BMW engine. Let's be clear, a straight 6 is what makes BMW. So when you're buying a 2-litre engine, you're not buying an actual BMW, and a lot of people won't actually tell you that. People feel they bought a BMW when they bought a 2-litre engine. I just want to be clear here. Anyone who tells you to buy a BMW with a 2-litre engine simply doesn't know BMW. The 2-litre engines are not reliable and they never will be. Trust me on that. I had enough of them in my previous life where I had to sell them. Part of being a trader was part of me repairing and selling them. And I can tell you now, you will go through more money on that car than you would a 6-cylinder. Many people seem to think they'll buy a 2-litre for the economy and because it's going to be cheap to repair. Let me tell you now, you're going to find out you're going to suffer more serious repairs, which are going to cost you more in repairs on that car than it would be on a 6-cylinder. And why is that? Because so many people buy the 2-litre engine that prices on the parts are so expensive because they're in high demand. The more a part is in high demand, the more they're having to make it, the more the price goes up. And therefore, that's why inflation goes up on the price, and that's why you end up spending more money on that car. A lot of people who buy these 2 litres, they simply don't have the money to run or afford the 6-cylinder. And most of these people who bought these cars were looking at your normal average Ford Focus at that time, and they saw the 2-litre being cheap because that's what they are. They are cheap, they come up $1,000 to $1,500, and went and bought that. And they're stuck with it and lumbered with it because the fact is they can't sell it on, or it's giving them problems to the point they've had to scrap it. Now, don't just take my word for it, go and look on eBay. You'll find everybody trying to get rid of their 2 litres. Don't be the idiot who goes and buys it from this person and who is laughing at you. Because majority of them people that are selling that is because they're going straight to a 6-cylinder. Majority of people that own a BMW will watch YouTube. They will find channels like mine telling them to get rid of the 2-litre. And then you'll be the idiot who will go out and buy that car, and you have just put them in a more reliable 6-cylinder engine and giving yourself their headache that they wanted rid of. The 2 litres are a burden. And trust me on that, I'm not here. Many people are going to call me arrogant for saying that. I'm not arrogant at all. I'm telling you the truth. If you want a reliable BMW, stay away from the 2-litre engines. Now that brings me to my next one. If you're looking for a diesel engine, it's all fine to go for a diesel engine, but do go for the 6-cylinder engines. Do not be stupid enough to go for the so-called 520D, 320D, 318D, or 320D. Or you've got the 116D, 118D, 120D. Many people everywhere seem to love that engine. If you are mechanically inclined, go for that engine, because being diesel, it is a reliable engine, but it takes a lot of money to make it run right. The timing chains are notorious for breaking on them, and it's not actually the timing chains that actually go, it's actually the guide rails for the timing chain that actually break, and you end up finding them in your sump. Or the tensioner itself can end up with play, causing your chain to slack, which is something you do not want on a diesel engine. Now, they are notorious for the timing chain going out, and any that have been remapped usually end up with the timing chain breaking. That is a known fact. So if you are looking to buy one of them, just beware that if you are going to take it to a garage, it can cost you a lot of money to have that job done. Bearing in mind the timing chain is on the back of that engine. So therefore, it can warrant a lot of labour money just to repair that car. And I'm talking in the excess of £800 to £900 labour, and that's without the parts. Now, if you do want a reliable 2-litre diesel engine, the most reliable one you can buy is the M47. That engine wasn't notorious for timing chain failure. The most notorious faults on them was the EGR and also the swell flaps. But providing you get them out, that engine is a very reliable engine for a 2-litre diesel. That one does not suffer the same issues as the N47. Now, another engine many of you guys should really avoid is the N20. The N20 is another 2-litre engine. Again, it's known for timing chain problems. That will cost you a significant amount of money. And the reason I'm saying this is because of the way inflation is. You are going to pay more for owning that car, especially if you go to a garage. But I'm going to state it again, if you're mechanically inclined and you're going to repair it yourself, go and buy any of these cars. But if you're not, and you are going to be relying on the garage, do not buy these cars. Trust me, these cars are going to cause you more headache than it's worth. Another one that uses the same timing chain and the same guides as the N47 is the N57, which is the next 3-litre diesel engine, which is the N series engine, and it's known for timing chain failure as well. Early models were prone to it. But that brings me back to the N20. The N20 is notorious for timing chain failure, and many of you guys go out to buy a car with that engine. Just be warned that N20 likes to go through timing chains, and when it does, that's another major job that's going to need doing. Now, when you total up the cost of labour and then you total up the cost of the parts, you're going to be looking at probably around near 2 grand after you get that card repaired. Is it worth it? It really, really isn't, because you'll never get that money back on the car. You're going to add mileage to it. You're going to want to enjoy it. Most people who do all this repairs on their car is not just going to repair it and then just flog it on for someone else to enjoy. No, they're going to want to enjoy it. And therefore, all the mileage you're going to put on is going to bring down the price in the long run of owning that car. By the time you want to get rid of it, you'll never get your money back that you've actually put into that car. Now, the most reliable BMs I can recommend you for 2022, and this is simply based on me knowing these cars and what is actually cheap, and I do check the price on a lot of car parts even still today, and what is going to be reliable year upon year and not require much maintenance, is the BMW N52. Now, many of you are going to sit here and say to me the M53. I can tell you right now, the M53 is clearly not a reliable engine at all. It's direct injected, it suffers from carbon buildup, it suffers with the high pressure fuel pump issue. I know people with their engine completely gone, who's had M53 where it blew up, and they're now looking to get it out and put an M54 engine in there. The M53 is not a reliable engine. You have to dash a load of money into it. It uses the same injectors as the M54, so you're spending the exact same money. Bearing in mind, you're better off to have gone and bought an M54. You would have benefited from having 2 turbos, and you would have actually gained more power, and it would have been a more drivable car. The M53 is not a good car to buy, so if any of you are looking at buying that, it is not a reliable engine whatsoever, and it's something I personally wouldn't have. I would rather have the N54 than the N53. The most solid and reliable BMW engine you can buy today that doesn't cost much to maintain, and even if it breaks, is very, very cheap still to buy. You can buy parts everywhere, readily available on eBay. Part prices are not insane for them because they're not in high demand for this engine, is the BMW N52. It's ULEZ compliant, it's economical, it makes good power, it's cheap to maintain, and there isn't much that actually fails on the N52 engine. If you buy the magnesium valve cover, you've only got gaskets because you don't need to replace the whole valve cover like you do on the plastic valve cover design M52 engines. It makes very, very good power because of the 3-stage manifold. It's easily tunable, and you can also add a turbo to it later on if you wanted to. The M52 is literally one of the best performing naturally aspirated engines and the cheapest car you can buy for the money today. And if many of you guys don't believe me, go out there on eBay, try and find, especially in the UK, trust me on this, an E60 with the M52 engine. You will see you'll be hard pushed to find one of them on eBay. And I know because I've been looking. They are in such high demand at the moment. People are buying them because of how reliable they are. And obviously people see my channel and are buying the M52 like crazy. The same for the 630i. We get the M52 here in the E63s and the E64s. The moment they come up, I can tell you right now, even if it's for 8 grand, they are snapped up in seconds. If they have that M52 engine, people go and buy them immediately. And especially on the E90s, they are getting sought after day by day by day, to the point I wanted another one for this channel, and I am struggling, literally struggling to find another M52 right now. Now, I'm not here to promote that engine. I make no money from promoting the M52 engine. Let's be clear here. No money whatsoever. BMW do not pay me to promote this engine because it's an old engine. And I do not get paid by eBay or any of these to promote a certain engine. Okay? I'm giving you the best advice you can actually do this year. If you want a reliable, powerful, naturally aspirated engine that's going to give you no trouble, the M52 is for you. It has its certain issues, yes, but they can be rectified all for under £1,000, and you can do it all yourself because there is so much knowledge out there on YouTube and so many videos that you can follow and make the M52 just literally perfect car for your money that isn't going to give you a load of issues. Like I said, these 2-litre engines are riddled in issues, and I would strongly suggest to stay away from them. Okay? I know this video's probably going to get slated by a lot of people, but most of them people own a 2-litre engine and can't afford anything else. They can't afford the road tax, they can't afford the running costs, they can't afford the insurance. Most of them will have points on their license where it makes their insurance go up the bigger engine they drive. Therefore, they can't afford to run a 3-litre engine. So therefore, they're going to slate this video because they're hating that I'm putting down the only thing they can afford. But unfortunately, I'm here to tell the truth, and it's not putting anyone down, it's being realistic. A lot of people don't like people who speak up about it, but I'm here to tell you the 2-litre engine is a piece of crap. Avoid all of them like the plague. You want a reliable 2-litre diesel engine, the M47 is the only one to go for. And that you will find in a lot of the E46s and certain E60s early year models only. So I hope this video is actually going to clear up for a load of you guys what car and what engine you should buy in 2022. Please, please, if you want a reliable engine, the N52 is the only one left you can actually target. Trust me, it is reliable, doesn't have many vacuum leaks, doesn't suffer many issues. You guys have seen, I've got one, I've still got it. It's been my 4th year owning it. It's now on 183,000 miles. I'm still on the original water pump, still going strong, still using it daily. And I haven't had to do literally nothing in my time of owning it since I've overhauled it. That is how reliable and solid these cars are. In the UK, they're in the early model E60s and in the early model E90s. Please be careful, because if you buy an 07, 08, you could end up with the M53 engine. In the US, that's the complete opposite. You guys can get it in all your E90s and your E60s, but that is not the case here in the UK. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope this video is going to help you decide which engine you want to go for in 2022. But as I said, I'm giving you my expert advice here. Buy the M52 and be happy and enjoy the car. Thank you very much for watching. It's BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.